Well, good morning and welcome to Brecky the Time to welcome and welcome to Brecky the Guy Who Sews. It is time to get the party started. I have brought along my friend Amber from So Majestic. We are so excited to get the Wild West Puzzle Mystery Quilt all started. We are doing two different colorways. But before we do that, let's just let Amber introduce herself because some of you may not know her, and if you don't know her, you're definitely missing out. But let's have her introduce herself. Let's just tell us a bit more about her.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Sean. I'm so excited to join you today. So I'm the ambassador for the large Josie side for Cotton Cuts. But I also own So Majestic and do a ton of bag baking and just dabble in all things sewing and crafting too.
Yeah, Amber's a good mate of mine, and I'm so excited to have her join me. And yeah, if you haven't seen her bag making videos, you need to go over and check them out. It's a lot of fun. You can put in exclamation point Amber or exclamation point guest if you're in the live chat. And I've put a link to her channel in the description if you're watching the replay as well. So it's a lot of fun. And then you also made a bag out of the snippets that Cotton Cut sent you recently. Is that nearby, or do we need to send people over to your channel to take a look?
It's actually in the living room. I could probably grab it later. I should have brought it in with me. But you
That's
can
fine.
check out my social media. I posted it in the Cotton Cuts group, so if you're active there, if you search like Amber, you'll find it. So
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a good opportunity for folks to go over and check out your channel anyway. So, yeah, go check
thank
it
you.
out. She made this beautiful little, what would you call it, like a clutch? Or I'm,
It
I'm
was,
not up to speed on women's handbags. So,
it's like a crossbody purse.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's so cute. It's got the pinks, the orange, the whites, the blues, all out of the Josie color frame. I am doing something totally different with mine. Mine's partially assembled, and I think you would have seen it on the podcast last week, but I am making this out of mine because all my snippets were triangles of different sizes. Were yours more like strips?
I had weird assortments. They must have cut out the rectangles because I had a strip that had triangles on the end, and then I had like long skinny rectangles, and I had a lot more of the white and like this peachy color, and then the others like I had one or two.
Okay, yeah, mine were pretty much all triangles. I had what we may have had the same thing. It was kind of like a skinny thing in the middle and then triangles at the end. I kind of called it like a dog bone, or a femur, whatever you want, maybe something like that. And then the rest were all triangles. So I was like, okay, well, since triangle seems to be the theme for my snippets, I'm going to go ahead and cut it up in this tiny little triangles and put it all together. Okay, let's see who is joining us this morning. We've got quite a few people here already, so that is awesome. My mate Mike from New York Beauty is here. It's good to see him. Jeanette Vincent is here from Riddle, Oregon. I love my West Coasters. I say it every week. I mean it a lot. My mate Tammy popped in to say hi and hit the like button, but she's going back to sleep to catch the replay because it's only 6 o'clock where she is. And I understand that. She was up watching Becca last night, and I think she had a super long live.
Oh
Chloe
wow.
Morgan is here with us. Good morning. It's good to see you. And my friend Andrea, and Mike are all part of my membership program. So thank you all for that. It's always wonderful to see that. Let's see who else is here with us. My friend Gloria Carlson is here from King William, Virginia, which is like an hour and a half up the road. I've met her a couple of times, and it's really, really neat. She's a wonderful lady. And all my viewers are wonderful people, men and ladies. So Melanie Taylor says good morning to everybody. Joyce Hernandez, Annette Wagner, she says it's 5:99. I think she meant 5:59 a.m. here. I didn't know there was a 5:99 a.m. It's unless it's some, and I know metric, so it's not metric time zone. Okay, Lynn Shepherd, Elizabeth Helvey, and Josie Browns is here with us. So I think we talked about this in our previous video, but just in case someone hasn't seen, which colorway are you doing, and how did you choose it?
So I am doing Josie, and you chose it for me.
I did. Yes, I did. And that was so much fun. I enjoyed that, and I want to do that like every time. Like
Me too.
it's
I'm down for it.
it's nice that most customers will go in, like they'll go to cottoncuts.com and they'll select your own colorway, and it's a lot of fun being able to go through the selection and pick it out for yourself. And that's what I did as an ambassador for the first 3 go rounds. I think you started at the same time I did.
Yes, that's
But
correct.
this time around, I needed to get pushed out of my comfort zone. I've always done the boutiques. I love the boutiques. But I was like, it's time to do something new. And I figured, okay, let's take a page out of Becca and Ian's book and let someone else choose it.
Yeah,
And so
I
I
think I
reached
pushed
out.
you out of your comfort zone.
That you did, and I'm so happy you did. Like, this is not one that I would have picked for myself. I am doing Tombstone, which is right here. And so this is not batiks, it is not solids, it is fabrics, and it's not fabric colors I would normally choose for myself. I like rainbow. I like bright pinks, reds, yellows, greens. I don't see any of that here. This is all grays, blacks, browns. But, you know, I have said in the past, I remember Tulip from Village Green. I absolutely love that one. Seeing that put together, which was black and white. So, yeah, I'm so glad that you chose something that was out of my comfort zone and something totally new. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So, and you're doing which size again?
I have the large size.
Okay. That is awesome. And I'm actually doing a small. I requested a small from Cotton Cuts because I noticed last time around for, which one is it? The Tree of Life?
Yes.
Yeah, I have so much trouble remembering the name of that puzzle mystery quilt for some reason. I can rattle off, So Sweet and Village Green.
I think
No, I'm
because it's
missing
much
one.
like, well, I guess it's not that much longer, but I know what you mean. The others kind of stick a little bit easier.
Yeah, I always have so much trouble remembering that one there. But those ones, yeah. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. So let's move on. You're doing the okay, that's where I was. Okay. So last time around, I was assigned a large, and we really had trouble finding tutorials and that sort of thing there for the folks that were doing smalls. A lot of people start with a small for their first one, and I love the small size. It's a wonderful lap quilt. It's 48 by 60, so by the time you're done with it, it's a beautiful lap quilt. I haven't finished one yet, but I've laid it across my, I've done the quilt top and top myself, and it's a nice lap quilt, and I'm 6'5", so yeah, and I was like, okay, look, I'll happily do the smalls. I'll still do my time lapses, but I found people have actually used those to put things together as well. So it's like, yeah, give me a small, and we'll assemble it that way. And it's gonna be kind of fun because you'll sew the large today, and I will sew the small, and you'll kind of get to see the difference between the two patterns. It's the same basic pattern usually, but the large has a little more embellishment because it's larger. It's 72 by 72 and it's a square, whereas the small is 48 by 60 and is more a rectangle. So you see more embellishments on the sides of the large than you do on a small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they definitely follow like a similar structure. I always love on the reveals when they show them side by side.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's so much fun to see that. And we'll have a reveal in what 3 months, I think, for Tree of Life. I mean, we're at what Blue 7 comes out next week.
Yeah, already. I'm like, where's time going?
Yeah, it's like you launch a new one and then like you get ready to say goodbye to the old one. What my problem is with today, that I cannot get this camera in the right place. Oh, there we go. Now we're in business. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. Is there any tips that you'd want to give to anybody that's starting this for the first time?
I guess my tip would be just have fun. And I personally, I always sew at a full 1/4 inch seam allowance. I don't try to do the scant. I'm terrible at it. And as long as you are sewing at a consistent seam allowance, your quilt's going to turn out beautiful. So
Yeah.
don't stress and just enjoy the process.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, I was going to say something similar myself. Like, I do a true 1/4 inch too. I don't mess with a scant. I have a nice setting on my machine where I figured out where the true 1/4 inch is, and I set everything on that. And again, like, yeah, just keep it consistent. And as long as you do that, you'll be more than fine. The other thing that I know Becca used to throw out all the time was that don't use starch on this stuff because it's all pre-cut. You may find shrinkage on that. So if you are someone that likes to use your best press or acorn or something like that, set it aside for this project. I have, used a bit of water and that to press, some wrinkly parts. And I haven't had any issues with it, but yeah, just to be on the safe side, because it's pre-cut, just leave the starch at home and save that, you won't have, you'll save some money that way too.
Totally true.
Yeah. Chloe says she sews at a full 1/4 as well. They shipped out a lot of the clues. If you are doing monthly, I think they shipped those out yesterday. And I sent some out earlier as well. My box is somewhere in the mail. So it'll show up at some point, but I'm not really concerned because they sent as an ambassador, they sent me Clue 1 ahead of time, so that way I have that, and then they'll send me the box. So we'll probably see that next week, which is fun.
Yes.
Okay, so Chloe says she received her small Delilah last night and started hers last night. So Mike's still waiting on his. And this is actually Mike's first one. Are you doing the large or the small, Mike? I know you said you're doing Delilah. I think he's doing Delilah, which is one of the other ones actually picked for Amber.
Yeah, I think Crystal has that one. It's a beautiful colorway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I looked at that and I was like, okay, look, I think Josie would be perfect for Amber, and so would Delilah. And I was like, if she had picked either one of those for me, I would have been over the moon. Really, I love both of those colorways. So
it was a tough choice. There were I feel like every time I say this, but I'm like, there's no really bad choices at all. Like I would have been happy with pretty much any of them.
And that's how I was. There was like 2 or 3 that I wasn't, as fond of, and I gave Amber that list of ones that if you can, use others, but if you do decide this one, that's okay too. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and the tombstone, it's gonna be a nice, fun challenge. I've enjoyed working with the fabrics to make this, which is really, really fun. So there we go. All right, let's see. Okay, I really wanted to. Andrea says she really wanted to do this one, but you know how that goes with being financially challenged. I'm hoping to win one on Ian's live tomorrow. Okay, so apparently you can win something pretty neat on Ian's live tomorrow. So I don't know what that is. But yeah, duck over to Ian's live tomorrow. I believe it's at 2 p.m. Eastern, and find out what's going on. And now, if Andrea doesn't win, she'll probably come over and beat me in the head. Okay, Amy says to you, Amber, if you adjust your sound settings on both windows to lower background noise, we won't hear the sewing machine as much. There's a sound setting inside.
Okay, I see audio.
Yes, mine should be set up for that. That's fine. We can always mess with that next time. Okay, good morning to Rob from Quilting in the Man Cave. It's good to see you. Yeah, we'll mess with that afterwards, Amber. Okay. And get that set up. But yeah, StreamYards does have a nice sound suppression system, so you don't actually hear sewing machines. Very similar to what Zoom had. Okay, Amy says she likes the coral and aqua combo. I did too. I just thought it was so much fun. Just like I saw the colorways, and there's one fabric, I think it's the blue one, that has the TVs on it.
Yeah,
and
that's like one of the first part of the clues now.
Yeah, I love that one there as well. Okay, you have to fill out the form. I can't remember the color. Okay, so yeah, definitely head over to Ian's channel after you've done here with us, and I'm going to throw his link into the chat. Apparently, there's a way that you have to fill out a form, and I'm learning as we go. And you can win maybe you can win a puzzle. I don't know what I'm assuming it's a Puzzle Mystery Quilt you can win. I really don't know. But anyway, whatever it is, Ian doesn't do things half-baked. So whatever it is, it's going to be something fun. So go over to Ian's channel afterwards, tell him I sent you, and find out what he has in store for you guys. Okay, let's see. Okay, Carl. I'm just making sure I don't miss anybody. Good morning to Deb S, the Pug Mum Quilt. I cannot word today. What is my issue?
It's
I've got another live.
Okay.
And I have a second live at 10 o'clock this morning with Donnell. So this is going to be a rough day. Okay. Mike says that Andrea has a lucky streak. So do I. So I think I might have to step back and not enter this thing here so you can all have a chance. I just wish it was that. I mean, the lottery needs to start having giveaways, because then I might actually win it. I don't tend to do so well with the lottery. Okay, so let's see what we've got done so far. I've got a triangle pressed. And I haven't seen a large triangle and a clue in quite some time.
Yeah, I have a giant green one for mine.
Yeah, actually, I think I have. There's another one here. Yeah, so this is mine so far. I've done a lot. Yeah, one scene, but that's okay. Okay, let's scroll back down to the bottom and make sure I'm not missing anything here. More coffee. Okay, you better have more. Yeah, I better have more. Okay, everyone's telling me I need more coffee. I have 2 cups of it here, and I'll brew another one as soon as we're done live in here. So that'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so I was very curious, like, how did you get started with the Puzzle Mystery Quilt, and then how did you get involved with being an ambassador? I always like hearing these stories.
Yeah, so there is a bag maker. Her name is Jess. Her channel's called Opla Roots. And when I was learning to sew, I was following her, and she was an ambassador. I think it was in 2021. So I was like, oh, I've never quilted before. Like, this sounds like a good way to like learn. So I joined in, and then I was posting all my videos to TikTok. So Cotton Cuts actually reached out to me to see if I would be interested in an vegan ambassador. So that's where they found me, and I still post all my videos to TikTok, but I've now expanded into also recording a tutorial for YouTube, posting it on Instagram, my Facebook group, kind of all over the place. How about you?
Oh, that's my story is very, very similar. Like, I started watching Fallon over at So Be It Quilt. She'll probably pop into the chat any minute. And she was an ambassador for, yeah, same story. Like, I watched her do it, and it was just after the signups for that one. I think it was whatever's before So Sweet, Olympia, perhaps. And again, I was just doing my time lapses because I figured, I just started my channel. And I thought, if I do time lapses, it'll be a good way for me to get some content for the channel. And I've just messed this up. And then, yeah, they reached out to me after the end of So Sweet and said, hey, would you like to be an ambassador for the next one? I was like, yeah, sure, this would be great. And yeah, I was so honored, because I didn't think I'd have enough, had nearly enough subscribers and that sort of thing there to be even considered for this. But yeah,
same here. Especially, I was also very new to sewing too. But I do think that's helpful because I know when I was like learning with bag making and stuff, I'm like, I want to see people make mistakes and how they fix them and kind of like learn through everything. So at least that's what I told myself. So I'm hoping that that's helpful.
It is. I hear that all the time. Like, there are a lot of viewers out there that really enjoy seeing the, new people that they can relate to because they're in the same step of the sewing journey as you.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing the mistakes is good too, because sometimes you see people that are, that produce perfect videos, and then you get discouraged because, well, why can they do it and I can't? Well, first of all, they've had years of practice, and second of all, they just cut that stuff out. Right. Whereas mine, yeah, if everyone knows Jack's my very, very bestest friend, and yeah, I don't care. Like, I'll tell you, I'll make mistakes. I make them every week.
Yeah, I tend to not cut mine out. I'll like, maybe say like ahead of time as I'm editing, like, I made this mistake here. Like, this is how I fixed it. Because I don't want anybody to sew it wrong and then have to fix the mistake too.
Yeah, and I mean, I've had that too, like where I've said, okay, look, I've posted, like in my week review or my time lapse, if I make a mistake, I'll show the mistake, and then there'll be a picture of me going, and then I'll have little old Jack, ripping stuff out. And I've had more than once where people said, look, I made this, I did this backwards or whatever it is too. So there you go. But yeah, that's just how I choose to do it. I mean, everyone can do their channel however they want, and that's up to them. I'm not telling you how to do it. I never do, but yeah, I choose to keep my stuff in as well. Okay, so yeah, Chloe said, no, Jack, yeah, just got bunched up in the machine, so I just have to rip that little part out. So not a mistake, it's just one of those unfortunate things that happens. Okay, let's make sure I'm doing this.
Are you using Aurifil thread?
No.
Okay, because I find that I am using Aurifil, the one that came with Carnival actually, but I find that I always forget to hold it and it gets stuck much more often than like the polyester thread that I use for bag making.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I usually use the Gutermann thread just because it's like, I can find it at Joann's. It's super cheap. Mm-hmm. I buy it when it's on sale. I buy, what is it, the 1,000-meter thing. Sometimes they have it on sale for like $5.
Yeah, I love Gutermann.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been very happy there. I have the offer. My machine likes just pretty much both machines. I mean, they'll pretty much use anything and not complain.
Yes, same with mine. I'm very fortunate for that because I know some can be very finicky.
Yeah, so there we go. Okay, Loretta says she just subscribed to you. Well, thank you so much for doing that. Mike says he had the edit button
Oh,
removed.
thank
I
you.
love Mike. Yeah, it's always interesting to have him in the chat because he just comes up with the most wonderful stuff. And I want to say good morning to Miss Amy. If you haven't seen Amy's channel, go over and check her out. She is a lot of fun. Donnell says, good morning, everyone I've missed. I'm busy making coffee and tending to the dogs. Excellent. Okay, Mama says, hey, Sean, I can give you more content for your channel. You want to be a tester for me? LOL, just that. I'll talk to you about that. I don't want to commit myself to too much at this point because right now I have a lot going on and it's too easy to say yes to everything and then be overextended. But yeah, Andrea is working on some beautiful patterns and I'm really excited to see what's going on with her stuff in the very near future. So this is the next one here. Okay. Okay. So Catherine says, hi, Sean and Amber. Hope you are well. And so pleased I have caught you before I go to bed because it's well after 10 p.m. where she is in Tasmania. Gooderman is not cheap, but it's better than birch, etc. Yeah, that's one thing I did notice is that sometimes you do need. I recommend paying a little extra and getting a good quality thread. I have bought some cheap thread in the past, and it's pretty to look at, but that's about it. You know, it creates a lot of lint, and then you're spending all your time cleaning the machine and that sort of thing there. So, yeah, I do recommend buying a good quality thread that works for you and wait until it's on sale. When it's on sale, go buy 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, you know, and just stock up. That's what I do. And that works out beautifully for me. Okay. Good afternoon, Giovanna. How are you? It's good to see you as well. Okay, Melanie Taylor says, I'm a new subscriber of yours, enjoying your channel. That's for my friend Jamie over at Quilting Compound. She's a lot of fun too. If you haven't seen her channel, go check out. And if you have a channel, go ahead and share your channel link in if you want. It should be ! and your first name unless you're new, and then we'll have to get you set up. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think we're doing well. Okay, and then Andrea is subscribing to you. Yeah, so a lot of people are subscribing to you, which is awesome.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Me too. I always love it when people go over to subscribe to my guest channels. It's so neat to see that happening. That's one of the reasons that I have guests on each week. Plus, it's always fun for me to be able to sit here and talk to somebody.
Yeah, and I'm going to go through the chat. I'm excited to check out everybody who's sharing their channels. I always think it's really awesome that you give everybody a shout out and, you know, make everybody aware of each other's. We have a really great sewing community, so it's awesome to see that support.
I agree, and it's not. There's plenty of room for all of us, you know. Like I produce a little bit of content each week. I do my lives on Saturday mornings and my podcast, and sometimes I'll throw out something else. So there's plenty of time to go watch all of my friends. You know, it's hard for me to keep up, having said that. But yeah, it's nice to give give everyone a choice.
I keep triple checking my color card to make sure I'm not grabbing the wrong color.
That's why we'll talk about this off camera earlier. Someone suggested, and I think it was my friend whose name I can't remember now. I can picture the face. I can't remember. She told me, like, I was struggling on my very first live that I was putting clue one of, I think it was Village Green together. And she's like, no, I don't. Mike. Do we have your Mike? Should be under Mike. Let's see if Mike is under Mike. We'll find out. We'll soon find out that works. If not, we'll get Mike set up. Anyway, so it was my friend. One of my friends told me, okay, look, why don't you try setting it out clue by, step by step. Set the fabrics out and do it that way. And that worked out beautifully. So that was what I have done since, and it's worked out really, really well for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get Mike's stuff set up because apparently I haven't got his thing set up in Nightbot, and that's not good. Mike is here with me every week, and he needs to have his link. And you can tell I'm always very easily distracted.
Well, you have like such a large chat going on, and everybody's so talkative. I love it.
Oh, me too. Yeah,
The
I always love
interaction's
seeing the
great.
chat mood. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Mike's at 134. Add his command, and we'll just do it under exclamation point Mike. Okay, let's see.
See, it's okay for
Okay.
the distraction because it gives me time. Since you have the one block and I have two, so it gives me time to catch
Yes.
up.
Okay, so Mike's link is now active, which is awesome. So you can always put in exclamation point Mike if you ever want to, if you want to see what Mike is up to. And my friend Laura Lynn from Mom and Pop Quilt Shop is just coming to say good morning to everybody, and she is so much fun. She has a wonderful live 1 p.m. I think it's usually 1 p.m. Eastern, although she does some special longer ones sometimes. So go check that out as well. Okay, Andrea says she subscribes over 800 channels and probably a couple dozen from either Sean or Katie, so that's awesome.
Wow.
Okay, Donnell Stitchery says that Mike always calls us ladies angels, so I call him Charlie, such as Charlie's Angels. It's funny because that's what I'm calling the British Olympic team right now, because it used to be, you know, Lizzie's crew, but this will be the first Olympics without our dear Queen. So now it's, you know, Charlie's Angels. So.
Oh, that's too funny.
So,
did you watch the opening ceremony last night for the Olympics?
I did, and I loved every minute of it. I thought it was so neat that they did it down the river. It stunk that it rained so hard. I felt bad for everybody.
Yes.
But I didn't realize that it was the first time since 1952 that it did not rain during an opening ceremony. So I mean, they've had a 72-year run, which is pretty.
Oh wow! I didn't realize that either.
They said that on the broadcast last night somewhere, because I retain stupid facts like that. But yeah, it was so neat to be able to see that. And you know, normally like an opening ceremony ticket for an Olympic Games, I mean, you pay through the roof. It's almost like buying a Super Bowl ticket.
Yeah, I can't
and this
even
way
imagine.
they can. Yeah. And I'm sure the security people are having a heart attack every 20 seconds there. But, you know, it opened it up to what? I think they had 300,000 people able to line the banks of the river and watch.
That's incredible. Athletes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think it's fantastic.
A cool idea for the river boats. Like, so different from any other.
And of course, I was sitting there. Brisbane in Australia is having the Olympics in 2032, and they've got a nice river through the middle of the city like that. And I'm like, okay, Brisbane, here you go. Like, you could easily do this as well. Now, I don't know if they could find 82 big boats like that, because you know, over in Europe they have all those river boats and do all that sort of stuff there. But if they start asking people now, they might be able to get 82 by 2032.
Yeah, I'm so excited to watch. And I would, like, even if it's a sport I never watch, I just like get so excited to see all the athletes from all over the world. So I'll watch any of the anything that's televised.
Yeah, my wife loves watching it as well. And it was funny, we were watching it last night, you know, because they always go through in like country alphabetical order based on the language of whichever city is hosting.
Yeah.
And so we always have to, we always figure out, okay, well, you know, where's Australia going to be? Where's the United States of America going to be? Because, you know, sometimes it's under America and sometimes, you know, every language is different.
Right.
And so I know a little bit of French, and I know Australia is basically spelled the same, but with an E at the end instead of an A. And so Argentina went by, and then they went to the Bahamas, and I'm like, okay, where in the heck is Australia going? Did they skip it during commercial? Anything else like that? And so I was like, okay, well, the only thing that I can come up with is I know they always do the next host country before the host country. So, like, because it's in LA next year, they do the US right before France. And I was like, okay, well, since they've already announced 2032, I wonder if they're going to stick Australia right before the United States. And that's exactly what they did. And it was interesting because I'm sitting there trying to figure this out, and I look it up I Google it because that's just what I do. And apparently there was a bunch of, there was an article from one of the Australian channels, And they said, yeah, apparently a bunch of people are thinking the same thing. Like, did we get skipped? Did we get banned?
Get a lot of
Apparently
upset
nobody.
Australians.
Yeah, I would have been upset too because like the live, when it went live there, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. So like I couldn't imagine waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning to see like country's athletes go down the river and then just like not be
Where
where you're
are they?
supposed to be. Did the IOC ban us? Like what happened here? So there we go. All right. So Andy is here from True Blue Quilts. It's good to see her. She says, good morning, all. Excited for an in-person sew day at my local shop. That sounds like a lot of fun. I should try that one of these days. But then again, I'd probably be too lazy to pack up all my stuff and go, so I probably wouldn't actually make an appearance. So.
I know. I need to be more involved. There was only, well, I guess there's one that just opened in New York City. And there was one prior that they shut down after COVID. But there's a few that are located up more in like Westchester County that I could definitely go to that are within driving distance. And I definitely need to branch out more for like the actual in-person shops.
Yeah, I've only been to an in-person sew day once, and that was actually my friend Glory, who I was talking about earlier. She invited me to go up there and hang out with her and her friends for the day. And that was a lot of fun. But yeah, it's a lot of, by the time you pack up your sewing machine and your cutting table and your iron and your ironing board and all the other stuff, I'm like, I could just stay here and do this. But there is something to be said about going and actually interacting with other humans as well. So, I see the pros and cons for both. Okay, let's see. All right, so and that's heading home soon from her trip. That's always a lot of fun. Okay, let's see. I was going to ask some questions for the audience. Let me go see what I had some stuff saved from last week. Okay, let's see. Let's put this one up here. What's 3 things would you do if you're invisible? I found these random questions online the other week, and I was like, I'm going to save some of these and throw them out to my guests and the audience to see what they come up with.
These are fun.
So I'll give you
these. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So I'll give you a minute to think about this one because this is like way off, out of left field. So.
Yeah, I love doing these with my students in the classroom. It's always like amazing what they'll come up with.
Oh yeah, I can imagine what the kids come up with. Yeah, I'd love to hear in the audience too what things you would do if you were invisible. If we gave you a Harry Potter invisibility cloak, what would you guys get up to? I've got to sit there and think about this one as well. So
I know.
All right. Andy says she got 100% on the Olympic Games trivia quiz at work this week. We actually did some quizzes at work earlier this week, but we did the country flags and then like where the country was. Like they showed you an outline of a country part of the map, and I did pretty well to flags. I did not know Vatican City's flag. That one threw me through a loop. I figured I'd have a picture of the Pope or the Pope's little hat or something, but no, it isn't.
Yeah, flags are tricky too because a lot of them have similar colors.
They do.
Also, just side note, I finished my first block.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I'm not even. Well, I've only got one block to do, so.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to go quick. I have my second, but I love the pop of color down here in the right.
I know it's beautiful. It's going to be such a wonderful quilt when it's done. I'm really excited to see you do that as well. Oh, now there we go. Katie Cross has the right idea. She says she has a separate set of tools and sewing machine set up for in-person sewing days. She sews with a group most Tuesday afternoon. So there you go. That might be the way to go, is actually have like your own little travel kit.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, if I take this machine, if I go somewhere in person, I definitely take this machine because I can carry this around quite easily. The Benina is a lot heavier than the Brother is.
Yeah, same. My Singer is like older and screwed into this table, but I have a small brother too that's like portable. which also shows great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I love Amy's answer. She said it should be instant karma for people that are entitled. Yeah, bad people in public will just will. That would be fun. That would be cool. Giovanna says the Irish and Italian flag are so similar. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Like Monaco and Poland are very similar. Ireland, Irish, and then there's another one. It's like orange, white, and green. I can't remember who it is now. And that sort of thing there. Yeah, so we did took the quiz earlier this week. We had a lot of fun. I got like 39 out of 40.
Wow.
Yeah, I missed the Vatican. I think it might have been 38 out of 40. I missed something else. I forget what the second one was, but yeah, I do remember one of them was Vatican City because I'd never seen that one before. I didn't even realize they had a flag. So showing my ignorance here.
If you like that trivia stuff, do you know like the famous, or not famous, but super popular word game Wordle? Have you heard of that where you like guess the word?
Yes.
So they have one called World, like world with the L, Worldle. And so then it shows you like that, like exactly what you're saying, the outline of the country, and you have to guess the country. And then there's like bonus challenges of the capital, the flag, like the population. Depending on the country, it changes a little bit, but it's a lot of fun too. It's a different one each day. Yeah,
I'll have to check that one out because we just found all the quizzes on Britannica, which is fairly well known. It's what used to be encyclopedias back when I was a kid. So that was a lot of fun. But I'll check that one out. So that's really cool. And I think what other ones did we do? I think we did the U.S. citizenship exam. I did pretty well at that. And
that's not easy either.
Well, my wife's a U.S. history major, so it makes the life easier. I've learned all that stuff. And then I also live in an area where we have so much historical stuff nearby.
Yes. That's definitely helpful then.
Oh, it's so helpful. Like I went and saw like Jamestown and Yorktown and all the other places before I went and took my U.S. history classes in college here. So, that was a lot of fun. The other one we did was movie titles using emoticons.
Oh, I would be terrible at that.
I actually did a lot better at that than I thought I would. I thought, okay, let's try this and see what happens. And there was 15 of them, and I got 13 right. So I was really impressed. Actually, I think I beat everybody in the department except. Well, I beat my Indian co-worker at one. That dude is wicked smart. I beat him on the outline of the countries, which I was super surprised at. And I told him, I said, look, I've got to write this down. I've got to note this somewhere because I don't think I'll ever beat him again in a quiz. Like he is just super, super smart. So awesome.
That's so funny. That's awesome.
All right. So Andrea says she would hang out at Walmart and eavesdrop on people's conversations, visit some of my favorite YouTubers and see what goes on behind the scene and inspire her husband. Okay. Don't be giving Andrea any invisibility clothes. If you want to come visit me, just let me know and I'll let you. We'll set up a time and date. There's nothing here that I'm going to hide, but I don't want people just magically showing up and seeing me invisibly.
I think if I were doing it, I would want to do like museums or something where you can go in like the back rooms or, the stuff that's not like available to the public. I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like, I'd like to be able to go to like the places where you can't normally go, like, and just see how things run. I think that would be me. I wouldn't be doing any crimes with it because I'd still get caught somehow. Okay. So this is the top half of my block.
Oh, that looks great.
I know it's got to be so different when it's done. Okay, let's see. Amy says, I think there should be a point system for all the bad things I think I all want to do and don't do. I really should get credit for that. Nancy says she would fail at all those games. I'm bad at historical anything. They had so many different, the Britannica thing, like if you go to Britannica quizzes, they have so many different quizzes on like every different subject you can think of. So I'm sure you will find something there that you would enjoy. Wordle sounds so fun. I had a matching card game when I was a kid that had all the country flags, so I learned them all young. I am terrible at matching games. Like if you give me, I forget what it's called, but like when you have all the cards face down, memory, I think it's called.
Memory, yeah.
I don't have a memory. I don't have a memory. So yeah, that game and I are not friends. Right, so that is that question. Okay, let's see if we can work some. Okay, oh, here we go. This will be a good one. If you could take one prop from any movie set, what would it be? I think I know my answer.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I have to think.
Yeah, let me know in the chat or the comments if you're watching afterwards. Let us know what you would choose. I think I would have to work, like, because I know the real one doesn't work in the real world, but I think I'd want to take the hoverboard from the Back to the Future movies.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Well, I think I think I'd have to take one of the one that little girl rode, the one with the power, so that way I could scoot across water and stuff like that too. I think it was like the Pitbull. I think it was they called it, the one with the little jet engines on the back.
Yeah.
Because then you could just fly down. You could walk, like, not have to drive everywhere. Like you could just kind of float around that traffic. Yeah. So that's mine. Okay, Mike says he'd want Prince's motorcycle from Purple Rain. That's a good answer. All right, good morning, Miss Heather. It's good to see you. All right, Mike says invisibly skipping lines would be pleasant, and you don't have to be people-y when you're invisible. Okay, now Mike's onto something here. Okay, very good.
It's a great point.
I know, I'm telling you, Mike is good to have in the chat. He always comes up with good stuff. Okay, Deb Est and Pugmum Quilter says the ruby slippers from the Wizard of Oz. Well, I know where one of those pairs are. It's sitting there in the Smithsonian Museum in New York. You might need your invisibility cloak to get your hands on that one.
I was going to say the same thing.
Oh, okay. Andrew says, I suspect that some people I watch are not as pleasant as they portray themselves online. I want to see how many profanities leave their mouths and how frazzled they get. Okay, well, she's already caught on to me. I mean, I don't say too many bad words, but yeah, I do get frustrated sometimes. So yeah, she's caught me. Okay, Amy Dement says she'd like the Ferrari from Ferris Bueller's before they pitch it out the window. That's a good answer. I like that. That'd be a nice car to have.
Yes.
I would have loved to have seen what was it, Cameron, I think his name was. What his dad said when he found the Ferrari in the bottom of the valley, like.
Yeah, I don't remember. Like, I'll watch a movie like once, but that's it. So where you have like a terrible memory for the game memory, I have a terrible memory for like movies or anything like that. So if there's any trivia about stuff like that, I would totally lose every time.
Well, I'm usually bad with movies. I mean, the audience has been very kind to me and actually picked the movies I actually remember. So
oh, nice.
I know. Aren't they kind?
They're super kind.
I know. And yeah, so all right, let's see. Where did my chart go? Because I'm thinking I messed something up here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, I'm not. That's A and D. Oh, whoops, that's where I went wrong. Oh, this is not going to be good.
Is it a big mistake, or can you fix it easy?
Oh, hang on. Maybe I haven't. I don't know yet. Was my chart's gone missing? Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Good morning, Leanne. It's good to see you as well. I'll figure out what I did wrong in just a minute. Okay, let's see. Laura Lynn says the Mary Poppins magic bag. That'd be a fun one to have. You know, like toss all your stuff in it and go for a walk. I like the sound of that.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. All right.
I think another thing.
Oh, Leanna must be in Puerto Rico again. That's fun. Okay. Oh, no, there we go. Heather says she would rather have the firebolt from Harry Potter. Now, that's Okay, I might have to. Okay, the you can have the whatever it was, the hoverboard back. Yeah, I want the firebolt from Harry Potter. I like Eva's answer better than mine.
I was also thinking the time turner from Harry Potter to be able to,
Ooh.
go back and forth. That would be fun.
If I could have one thing from Harry Potter, I would want to be able to apparate.
Oh, yeah. That would be
Because
great.
sitting in a plane from 16 hours to get from the west coast of the US to Australia is not my idea of fun. If I could just apparate and magically be in my hometown, yeah, that would be fantastic. So yeah,
Yeah.
that
Have you ever gone to the Universal Studios to like the Harry Potter worlds there?
no, I haven't. The last time I went to Universal Studios was in '07, and they were actually starting to build that when we were there. So
Oh,
um,
wow.
I'd love to go someday, but every time I look at ticket prices, it's like my mortgage is less than that. So
Yes, they are crazy, but if you ever get the chance, it's incredible. It's literally like stepping into the world. Like I can't describe how like detailed and well done it is. It's literally magical.
yeah, I know when I want to go because there is one, and this is a tip for anyone that wants to go to Disney World or Universal. If you go to weekend after Thanksgiving, so not Thanksgiving weekend, the weekend after, the places are dead.
Oh, that's
There's
good
no
to know.
lines because everybody travels for Thanksgiving. If you go to weekend after, it's all, yeah, there's no lines. Like when that's the weekend we went to Universal Studios. I picked that weekend because it was cheaper
Hmm.
for the airline tickets for the hotels and that sort of thing there. And we got there and there was like no lines. The longest line we stood in for was like 8 minutes.
Yeah. That's the thing about being a teacher is that all the breaks that we get are the same vacation. So all the prices go up during
Oh
those
yeah, I
breaks.
yeah, I'm married to a teacher, so I understand that so
Yeah.
well.
What's worked out for me is a lot of schools up north will start middle of August. So I've also done vacations at the very end of August. And that's great because like the whole south is back to school and a lot of the north. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a good thing too.
We take advantage of that, and like Amanda teaches in a private school, so she tends to get a little bit before the public schools do here. So if we go right away, it helps out too. But yeah, we do miss out on all the good sales like in the fall and the winter and that sort of thing there as well. Okay, good morning, Donna. It is so good to see you. She says sorry she's late. Her PT ran over, but it's always good to see her. And I'm so glad to see that she is continuing to recover. She had a stroke a few months ago, but in
Oh
true rock
wow.
star Donna style, she is recovering so well and doing wonderful things. I mean, she's almost, in my opinion, almost at 100%. If you didn't know she had the stroke a few months ago, you probably wouldn't even notice. So yeah, it's so good to see her here with us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for
Good morning
joining
to
in.
Miss Jeannie. Good to see you as well. Did I miss anybody? If I missed someone, I apologize. Good morning, S. Lopez. And my friend Ginger popped in from Copycat Quilter as well. It's always good to see her. We've had her on the channel a couple of times before. Okay, so now I need to figure out what I'm doing here. So why don't we share out one more question? And considering that you live in NYC, this one will be really good for you.
All right.
Okay, question is, would you rather have every traffic light turn green or always have the best parking spot?
Easy. I'm going to go with the best parking spot because even if the lights are green, there's so much traffic, it doesn't guarantee that you're moving. So I'd rather not have to circle the block or pay astronomical for a parking garage.
Okay, good answer. I like that. Yeah, let me know in the chat as well which one you would choose. I'm thinking, and this is where it's a great living in this part of Virginia, is I would definitely say the green lights because I don't like parking up front. My father-in-law, I love him to death. That dude can drive up to a mall Christmas Eve in the middle of the day and find a spot right next to the door every single
Wow.
time. Yeah, he has a talent for that. I like to park at the very end, so I'm not having to fight with people. I'd rather just, park at like if I go to Walmart or a mall or something, I park down at the very end. I get my exercise because I'm fat and I need exercise. Plus, sometimes it's fun to walk past people that are sitting there with the blinker on, waiting to get their very, very first spot. I'm inside the store before they are. So,
Exactly.
but it really does depend on your situation. I definitely get your viewpoint, with the green lights and not going anywhere. If I get a green light, usually I'm going somewhere in most situations. So yeah, I'm definitely going with the green lights for me. Let's see who else. What else is going on? Mike says the parking spot.
He says nobody follows the New York City lights anyways, and it's so true.
Oh, that must. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's like that here in Virginia too. It's funny how like different different places have different things. When I was in Louisville the other week, they follow the lights, but those people cut corners like nobody's business. Like if you had to turn left at a traffic light, you wanted to stop about 6 or 7 feet before the white line, because otherwise your front end was getting taken off.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, those people cut corners like when they turn left, they cut corners like nobody's business. I thought Virginia was bad. I was like, no, this is a new talent that those folks
I loved
have.
your video, seeing your trip out there to Louisville, all the fun things that you did. It was awesome.
Yeah, we had so much fun out there. Like we go out, we pick a city in that area each year. My wife's best friend lives in Wisconsin, and we're here in Virginia, so we meet up about halfway. We went to Pittsburgh a few years ago. This year's Louisville, and then next year we might go to I don't know. We'll have to figure out somewhere, maybe Indy or Cincinnati or something like that. So it's not super far away.
Right. Yeah. It looks so fun, and I love seeing all the different craft shops that you went into, whether it was like the fabric or the yarn. It was really neat.
Yeah, it was all fabric. I didn't actually go to any fabrics. It was all yarn stores. I didn't go to any fabric stores, unfortunately. I just didn't get around to it.
Yeah, I knew that they had like the yarn, but I wasn't sure if they did like only that or, a little bit of everything.
There was one that had there was one store we went to, the first one, it had a little bit of fabric, but it was there was nothing there really speaking to me. So I didn't get anything. They had beautiful fabric there, it really was. But yeah, I'm in the mindset now, unless I can really use it for something or it's something I cannot leave behind, I tend not to buy a whole lot right now. So they had a cute darkson fabric, but it wasn't cute enough for me to take home with me. So all right. Oh, if I had known that, Jamie, I would have come over and said hi to you. She said she's about 25 minutes from Louisville.
Oh, wow.
That's sad. Dora Lee says she likes to park out so I don't get things in my car. That's always true too. I mean, my car's old, so if someone dings it, I really couldn't care less. But I just don't like having to fight with people. And it's always funny too, if you park way out, like in the back of a Walmart parking lot or something by yourself, when you come back, there's always like 6 cars around you.
Yeah. You made it so they don't feel so funny parking next to you, like
I'm guessing that's what it is. It's like you start a trend. Like, you have nobody with you and you come back and I was speaking to a workmate of mine once and he said the same thing. It's like, because he has one of them fancy like souped up cars, and he's like, you always park it near the back so people don't ding it. And I was like, yeah, I do too. And he's like, but when I come back, there's always like 50 people around me. I'm like, okay, well, it's not just you, dude. Like,
they probably want to see his fancy car.
I guess. I don't know. So there you go. Mom and Pop says it depends on where you live, which is so true. Yeah, it was a fun question. So let's see. Melanie Taylor says she already has a handicap permit, so she chooses free green light. So that's good. But yeah, sometimes finding handicap parking is not easy.
Yeah.
It's really not. I mean, and you don't really realize that until you try and use it. So, okay, so let's see. Andrea says best parking spot where I can unload my wheelchair. No handicap tags, and not able to park in handicap spot. Okay, yeah. So really, it's a fun and interesting question. So. There we go. All right. Shaded park. Okay, yeah, I like Jen's answer. Shaded parking. We all need shaded parking.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What am I doing wrong here? This up. I've got a nasty feeling I've messed this up bad.
This second block has a ton of pinks in it.
Okay. I've got to figure out what the heck I'm doing here. Okay, is this right? A, C. Okay, so that's right. F, F, C, and A. Okay, so this part is right.
I love the prints together. I really do. I love that it's
Yeah,
neutral, but it has such a variety of prints, and it gives like really textured look to it.
I do too. And it was funny. I don't know that I've mentioned this publicly, but the tombstone. I was thinking about it afterwards. Like, you selected it for me. It's something out of my wheelhouse and everything else. But the tombstone has such a significant family thing to it as well, because my brother was a fantastic stonemason, and he had carved so many tombstones during his working career as well. So it's fun that that's the one you picked for me. You had no
Yeah.
idea. I didn't mention it, but yet it's going to be such a fun family thing as well that you picked the tombstone just because that's something that he did so well.
It's
So
funny
there
how
we go.
things work out like that.
It is. Yeah, it really is. So, all right, so that is that. Oh, I think I know what I did wrong now. This needs to come apart and go with that. I think I got these two clues backwards. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so not a huge concern.
Okay, that's not too bad then.
No, not at all. Okay, so A and D. That goes together. So this goes with this goes with this, and that. And then I just need to rip that apart. Right. Yes, and attach it to that. Okay. All right. Now we're in business. Thank you all for bearing with me while I sit here and figure out what the hey I'm doing with myself. So, all right. Okay. Sun Country Girl Design says, I love to see the I'm love to getting to see the tombstone fabrics. Waiting on my first PMQ to arrive, and that's what I picked. Did you get the small or the large there? Oh, I love that. It's gonna be such a fun design. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really happy that I got to play with the snippets up front because it really gave me a chance to work with the fabric, get a feel for it, and see how it comes together in my own crazy little design. So that was such a fun little, yeah, such a fun touch that Cotton Cuts did for us. I'm sure it's there. Yeah, they did it to help promote the PMQ, and it was there to help promote the snippets bags, which are a lot of fun if you are someone that likes to design your own designs and are able to think outside the box a little bit. It was very challenging. I think I had that little bag of snippets for 2 or 3 weeks before I even pulled it out to try and figure out what I was going to do with it. So it's not for everybody. But yeah, if you like playing with stuff and like working the scraps and making your own designs and that sort of thing there, it's a fun little challenge, and it's nice having all those coordinated fabrics together as well to play with.
It's true. It pushed me out of my comfort zone because I usually tend to follow like a pattern, not like a written pattern, but like, like a color pattern or size of block pattern. And I kept telling myself, okay, no, you're going to do it like random. So I had to have that conversation over and over as I was sewing it. But I really love the end result. It turned out great. So.
Oh, dude, I love seeing your bag. And I think a lot of us have done different things with them. Has Ian revealed what he's done with his yet? Or is that what's coming up tomorrow?
He did a live and he turned his into a block, I believe. I know I popped onto his live for a little bit, and I'm pretty sure I saw it within the Cotton Cuts group.
Okay, I knew it either occurred recently or it was coming up soon. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'll have to go watch what he did because, yeah, he always comes up with the most interesting stuff. And he has the Calamity, I think it was, with all the bright colors. So, whatever he did was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got another bag of snippets that I bought a while ago that I'm going to do something else with, but that'll be a later project.
Yeah, I actually think I'm going to get some because I enjoyed it so much. I wasn't sure what to expect because I had never purchased any. But like you said, I love that they're already coordinated. So you don't have to think about what you need to match it with. You can just hit the ground running.
Yeah, and when we got a smaller bag, like when you buy the snippets, you get like almost a pound. It's like 14 ounces or something.
Oh, wow.
And so you'll get like, I don't know if I can I don't know where my bag of snippets is. It's here somewhere, but it's probably like 2 or 3 times the size of what we got this time around.
Oh wow! So you
So
definitely get your money's worth.
yeah, you can make yourself a nice little project. Like if you made yours in the bags, for instance, you could probably make 3 or 4 of them. So
Oh, that's fantastic.
yeah, you'd do a lot of fun. Chloe says that she loves your bags. I do too. I love seeing the different bags you come up with.
Aw,
So
thank you.
one of these days, I'm going to be brave enough to try a bag.
Yeah, we can do it live together. We'll walk you through it.
We need to. All can decide we need to do that one day. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So yeah, you and I will talk, and we'll set that up sometime. I don't know when. It won't be any time in the very near future because I've still got to finish quilts, and yeah, I need about 72 hours each day. Good morning, Miss Kathleen. It's good to see you. She is up early over there in California, but it's always good to see my friend Kathleen pop in and join us for a little while. Okay, so we've done this, right? Oh, have I done this backwards? No. Okay. It's always so fun learning a new colorway. I always get used to about clue 6. I have the colorway memorized pretty much.
Just in time to change.
Exactly. Yeah. Like if they wanted to make it like a 15 or a 20-month project, that'd be great. So I can actually learn it. But I think we'd get halfway through. It's like kind of when you're sitting on a flight over the Pacific, you get halfway across and go, "Are we there yet?" So I'm okay with the current length.
Yeah, it's definitely it goes by fast.
It
I can't
does.
believe we're beyond Wild West. I feel like we were just like learning about what colorways were coming out and talking about it.
Yeah, and there's still time to jump. If you haven't joined in, you want to, there's still time. They usually keep the signups open until like month 3. So you still have like a month or 2 to pick some colorways. Some have sold out, I believe, but they have I think like 12 or 13 of the original 15 left. So
yeah, there's quite a few.
Still plenty of choices there as well. Okay, so Sun Country Girl Design says she had enough triangles in her snippet bags to put together over half of a twin quilt, and that was just the triangles. Yeah, you get a lot of I'll have to pull it out and show you all what comes in a full size bag. Because yeah, the ones that they sent us was a smaller version. Yeah, I cut my triangles up, and I was able to make, and I said this is a much smaller than what you would get yourself. That it's with all these little triangles, it's going to end up being like 16 by 16.
Yeah, it looks so good.
I know, I'm so happy with that. It's going to be such a fun little project when it's done. Okay, so I've got that, I've got that. Now I need to rip this out, and then where's that one go? Hang on. Ah, okay, that's where it goes. Okay. All right, Giovanna says she can't afford it. Okay, so that is something I do want to bring up for you guys. If you are living internationally and this is something you're interested in, you have to pay for it up front, like the whole thing up front, but they will do international shipping free of charge. So if you're living in Italy or Australia or New Zealand or something like that, and you're worried about the international shipping, because shipping stuff to Italy or Australia is no joke. But if you prepay for the whole thing up front, they will ship it to you to your door worldwide for no additional charge. So that is something to consider. It may not be something that you can do now, but it's always something to consider for future Puzzle Mystery Quilts if it's something you want to join in on. Don't let the geography stop you if you're able to do it in that way. They don't advertise that heavily. I do. Just because I don't.
Was that good?
Well, I know what international shipping costs. It's not fun. So
yeah, I didn't realize that they shipped the whole kit for free. That's incredible. That's a good deal.
Yeah. Well, I talked to Kim about that once when she was on one. I think I was either on her live or she was on mine. I can't remember. And and she said, yeah, we just don't want that to be a barrier for people. So I'm sure they'd take a pretty big hit financially compared to a U.S. person, but it's a great way to expand your customer base.
Yeah, I really like, even though we're ambassadors, but even when I like did the quilt on my own, they're really great company. And
Yeah,
once you do the lives with like Kim and some of the like talk to Paula behind the scenes, uh you really see like the humans behind it, and I just love supporting them regardless
yeah,
whether it's the quilt or anything.
yeah. Okay, so Giovanna says it's also the import taxes that cost a lot. Okay, I forgot about that. There
Yes.
are, yeah, there are some countries, and it seems like Europe is what is especially notorious for that. Yeah, even if you like a lot of places, you can import, small things like under $100 or under a couple of $100, and there's no duties on it. But yeah, it seems like a lot of European countries, if you ship something in, even as something like that, you still have to pay a significant amount of duty or taxes on it. So yeah, that's I forgot all about that. My wife has her own knitting channel, and she did a giveaway, and I think it was someone in the Netherlands. And once it got to the Netherlands, like after a month and a half, their government was looking for like $25. It was almost the value of the product
Oh,
in taxes.
wow.
And we paid it, and yeah, no issue there. But I was like, good gravy. Like, and I think Canada's like that too. They have I think it's like 10 or 15% or something when they tip up there. So
Yeah.
you do have to take that into account. I totally forgot about that. So, but having said that, you don't have to worry about the shipping part of it. So, something to consider in the future. Okay. All right. Ange Sows is here. Good afternoon to you. It's good to see you. She's one of my friends from the UK. It's always good to see her. I hope you and your little doggo Max are doing well. Leanna says it's great. A mini infomercial. Well, we are supposed to promote this thing, so we won't bore you too long. I promise. We're good. It's great they do that. I know they shipped to Puerto Rico all last year when I ordered fabric last summer. That's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I just like to bring that up because it's not something that people talk about, and I do because I'm international, so that sort of stuff was important to me. Okay, Amy says the dogs are up and need to go out, so I have to run. But thanks for the hangout. Have a great weekend. Well, it's so good to have you hang out with us for a little while, Amy. And if you haven't checked out Amy's channel, go over and check her out. She is so much fun. I love listening to her when I get a chance. She has a wonderful, wonderful channel. And we got to hang out together on a live about I guess it was a year ago. You can always go search for that one as well if you want to see that. Okay, Giovanna says, since Brexit, we get charged taxes for anything that passes through the UK. Okay, all right, yeah, that makes sense. All right, so there we go.
I just finished my second block. I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. There's a lot of pinks. And you can see the contrast. It's so different from the first one. So this had all the white. And then this one is mostly pink.
That's going to be so beautiful when it's done. I'm so glad that you got that one. You're going to love that.
Me too. I was so surprised. I was not expecting it especially because I love bright colors. So I was like, oh, he's probably going to throw me a curveball. So I was very, very pleasantly surprised by it.
Well, you said you wanted the Dusty Rose.
Yes,
which I thought you would enjoy. But I went back and looked at your stuff. You've done lemonade and you've done all these brightened colors, and I was like, that just looks. These color and like the bags that you've made and that sort of thing. There, it's like this is going to be something she's not expecting, but it's going to suit Amber so well, and that's kind of where my brain was going.
Yeah,
and
it definitely does.
Thankfully, I made better decisions than I am right now because I ripped this out and then I sewed it back together the wrong way I just did a second ago.
Oh, no.
So I'm ripping this out for the second time.
I've done that so many times with, sometimes I don't usually clip, but I'll end up rotating. If it's like a triangle, I'll end up sewing the wrong side and reverse it. But thankfully that didn't happen this time. I kept triple checking. I didn't want to make a mistake on a live.
Well, usually I have a rule. Usually I have a rule that says that if I make the same mistake twice, I put the thing to the side and go take a nap. But So if you see me sewing this together, someone yell and scream at me really quickly. Okay, Ange says, I love the block, Amber. Is it a puzzle mystery quilt? Yes. Do you want to tell her a little more about it just in case someone else doesn't know what it is that you just made?
Yeah, sure. So if you're catching us now, it is a puzzle mystery quilt. I'll hold up again so you can see it. I am sewing up the large size, and it's a large Josie. So I'll show you my color card here. So I had two different blocks. So you get your instructions from Cotton Cuts, and so you can see I had the large square and then this long rectangle one. And if you didn't know what Sean and I were just talking about, Sean picked my colorway for me, so it was a complete surprise. So yeah, it's really beautiful, and I just love all the bright colors. It's gonna be awesome together. So it's gonna match my living room too with the pops of teal.
Well, that's good to know. Yeah, I just saw that and I was just like, that's the colors Amber would really be drawn to, and I just think that that'll be really good for her. So I'm glad I made a good choice. Unlike me trying to sew this together wrong twice. Okay, let's see what we're doing here. This is number F. I'm gonna get this done before we leave, I promise. Okay, let's see. Giovanna says she did a few times and then Ginger says when I tried to put something on point, I have to use Jack over and over again, sewing the setting triangles. Yeah. We all have good days and bad, and this is just one of these days where we get to see, and there's no edit button on a live. If you do something up twice, everybody's going to see you do it, but that's okay. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be. It's done. We're fairly close to the end.
I can't wait to see how it looks compared to, like we were talking about earlier, the small compared to the large, where it like kind of echoes the same pattern, but with the slight variations.
Yeah, and like our first blocks look similar, like with the shapes, like the triangles and the squares and that sort of thing there, but the colors, like the letter colors are going to be totally different because you have a lot more. What was the predominant color on your block 1A?
I think it was the white and the pink.
Which was like A, B, C, D, or what letter?
On these blocks in particular was my D, and I would say either F or B.
Okay, because this one has a lot of F in it, but actually it's got a healthy mix of both F, C, and D. So I forget who was doing the large tombstone, but I'd love to see pictures of yours when it's done, because I'd like to see how the large and the small compare to each other on this colorway. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely if you're doing it, post in the Cotton Cuts group. I love looking through and seeing each time. Like, especially because even though we're all doing the same pattern, the colorways can make the quilt look so different.
Totally, yeah. Totally different. And that's one of the reasons I like participating in the live reveal at the end, because you do get to see them all totally different. Okay, let's see. We are getting very close to finishing this. Do my time lapse later on. I'll do that slower so I don't goof this up a second time. And it's totally okay if you make mistakes on these. I probably make at least one error every time, and this is now my 5th puzzle mystery quilt that I've done. So don't get upset or beat yourself up or anything else like that if you make mistakes on these, because we all do it.
Yeah, that, and I feel like the fabric's pretty forgiving. I haven't ever made a mistake where I needed to like cut a new piece out of an oops kit or anything like that.
Have you ever had to use your oops kit?
No, not at all. I used it to turn into a fun pillowcase because I had it all extra.
Yeah, that's how I am too. I mean, it's nice to have, because I worry that the one time I don't have it, I'm going to need it.
Right.
But yeah, I need to make something out of some of those in the near future. So
yeah, I have a little bit left over from my carnival one. I did the pillowcase with it, but I have more, so I don't know what I'm gonna make yet, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I'll make something. Maybe some pillowcases would be fun. That might be a good option
Yeah.
for those.
The one that
And
I
I found
did.
too.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No,
No,
you go.
ladies first.
I was gonna say the one that I did the front like quilted with carnival, but the back I did it in minky. So I love using minky. I don't know if you ever used it. So now it's a couch cushion and super soft.
Oh, very cool. Okay, good morning. It's good to see my mate Stephen. He says, hi, all. Hi, Sean and Amber. Later for me today. Still recovering and catching up from our trip to Berlin. Oh, hi. He got to go down and visit or our friend Stephanie from Stephanie Stitches. Him and Walter made, I think it's like a 5 or 6 hour drive from Toronto down to where she is in Ohio. That would have been a
Oh
lot of
wow.
fun. Yeah, so yeah, that's fun. I have to go and watch those videos that they put together. They had a live, I think, together on Wednesday. But yeah, I can understand him being a little tired after coming home. All right, so that's what this part looks like when you actually do it properly.
I love how it uses all 4 different colors. Looks great.
Yes, yeah, this will be a lot of fun. Looks different to what
that looks
I've
like.
seen.
See mine here in the bottom corner. It's like almost the same. Like it's a huge block, but the shape of this one. See with this.
Oh, okay. Actually, I think when you
very
put this
similar.
on top, it's going to be do it this way.
Yeah,
It'll be
you
very
can see
similar.
where it's like echoing it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, good gravy. He said he had a wonderful time with Stephanie, and of course, I bought a lot of fabric, by like 3,000 Canadian dollars worth. Good
Oh
gravy.
wow.
Now,
He's gonna be
did
sewing
you
a lot.
declare that on the? Sorry.
He's gonna be sewing a lot.
Yes. Well, the fabric here in the US is so much cheaper than it is in Canada. So, like, if you come down here, you might as well make full advantage of your trip.
Yeah, stock up.
That's how my stepmom was, because like fabric in Australia is like 3 times the amount that it is here in the US. So, yeah, we went to a couple of fabric stores up in Pennsylvania in the Lancaster area, and I mean, she was just going to town. Y'all have 2 yards of this and 5 of this. Yeah, because I mean, you can buy 10 yards of stuff up there for what you pay for a yard or two down there. So, yeah, I'm not super surprised that Stephen did that. All right, so assuming I didn't do this wrong, because now I'm double guessing myself on everything.
Oh no.
That's all right. This is clue 1 every time for me. So
yeah, mine thankfully it didn't throw it off too much. But sometimes, like you said before, if the clue it has a darker color, but the fabric on the card is lighter, that I always make mistakes with that.
yeah. All right, so yes, S. Lopez has the same question as I do. Will you stop at the border? How did that go? Did you have to pay duty on it, or you just didn't have to declare it?
That looks great.
All right, so we're just putting the final seam together. Let's just make sure we did it right, because I don't want to rip out anything else today. Oh, there's a big triangle in the middle. That's interesting. Yeah, Ginger says Lancaster has some great quilt shops for fantastic prices. Yeah, I forget. Is it? I've seen pictures of it because they're part of the Mid-Atlantic Shop Hop recently, and I'm watching those posts on Facebook. But yeah, there's one little town there that has so many wonderful quilt shops, and they're like right next to each other. Like there's one shop here, you walk across the street and over about 50 feet, and there's another big shop there. Yeah, so if you ever go in the Lancaster area, you need to go fabric shopping.
My mom loves the area because it's all like country themed. So she has a whole bunch of their quilts and pillows, like all decorating the house. She doesn't sew herself, so she goes and buys the finished goods. But all
Yeah,
from Lancaster.
There was one store there that sold all the Amish made quilts. Like, it's a big Amish population, and the stuff that the ladies had made, it's all hand done, because you can't. Well, I guess you can use a treadle machine in the Amish community because it's not connected to electricity. But such beautiful, beautiful quilts, and they were not nearly as expensive as I thought they would be.
Yeah.
I mean, they were still more than I could afford, but
for the time that it must take them.
Yeah, I thought they would have been a lot more. Like they had some quilts there for $3 or $4 or $500, and I was like, wow, you're getting a lot for this. Having
Yeah.
already being a quilter, I knew how much work went into this, and I was like, yeah, they're not really making them as much as they. But I guess you can only sell them for what people are willing to pay for them. So
That's true too.
okay, so Liana says she has to head out to a Puerto Rican flea market, farmers market. See you all later. Have a great day.
Oh,
Or
I'm so
take some
jealous.
video and
Have
share
fun.
that with us. Okay, so there we go. Block 1 is now done.
Looks great.
Yeah, needs to be pressed, but otherwise,
That's okay.
there we go. All right, so that is clue 1. It is all done. I am going to do a time lapse for mine because made us 2 of these. I just made 1. And so the other one you'll get to see on my time lapse in a few days. I'll probably do it early to mid next week, depending on my schedule. So you'll get to see that. So if you need help putting it together, please reach out. I'll do whatever I can to help you out with the small. And if you need help with the large, Amber as you go. She'll be more than happy to help you out where she can as well. Because you're putting out a tutorial as well, right?
Yes, I do on TikTok and stuff I'll do like time lapses, but on YouTube I do it like all the steps, and then I'll put a timestamp for each block so that way you can jump ahead if you need.
Yeah, and that's something I want to do this time. I've never done that before, but that is something I want to do this time around, is the timestamp. So it's a good thing that you reminded me of that.
Yeah,
okay.
I personally find them helpful. Like if I'm watching other people's videos, if I get stuck on a step, I definitely find that is super helpful.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because sometimes you just need help with a particular step and you don't want to have to sit. For a content creator's point, it's great for you to sit there and watch the whole video. But if you just
Right.
need help and you want to keep going, yeah, I'm more than happy to say, okay, look, yeah, go to, 2 minutes and 22 seconds and go watch what you need. And then just hit the like button on the way out and leave a comment if you can.
Exactly. I appreciate you just pop it in.
Yeah, so like if you're there just get your help, that's cool. You're not going to upset me one bit there as well. Okay, so Stephen says here, no, the border people didn't even ask what we had. We told them we had spent $400 and had 2 bottles of wine, and off we went. So there you go. Yeah, depends on who you get. I remember once I brought in some bottles of Australian rum, and I went to try and find, because you can bring in a liter, I think, duty free, and then you have to pay taxes on it. And I was like, well, I brought 3 bottles in, so I figured, okay, well, I'll pay duty on the 3rd one. And I'm walking. Normally, they have like a little window where you go pay it. And in San Francisco, I could not find that window. So I was like, okay, well, no one asked me any more questions.
Right.
It was like I would have to pay like $5 or $6. It wasn't like a huge amount of money that I had to fork out, but I couldn't find that window. I looked around long enough, and I figured, okay, if someone asked me, I'll happily pay them, but otherwise, you should make more clear. So there you go.
Put your effort in.
I did. I really did. As I said, I was more. I bought it in Sydney. I knew, and I was more than happy to pay it if I had to. But there you go. I probably paid more than taxes somewhere than I needed to. So I'm sure they broke even. So Ginger says they are both going to be beautiful. Well, thank you very much. Do you want to show your blocks one more time, just for anyone that may have popped in just a hair late? Oh, hang on, that's not the right one.
I'll hold them up one at a time because they're this one's long, so.
Yeah.
One there, and then I'll hold up the one that looks like yours. So I think it's like this, yeah.
Where's mine? Yeah, I want to see how close this is. Yeah, that looks almost like a quarter of a big star. But I'm not real. I've got more triangles in mind than you do, so it's a little different. I've not seen a block. I'm really interested to see where this ends up in the final design. I'm not good at picking out where these goes. Ian, I think, cracked the code last time.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I don't even make an attempt.
I tried a couple of times and failed. So yeah, now I just enjoy the journey and away I go.
Right.
So there you go. All right, so we'll go ahead and say good morning to everybody. See you later in just a moment, because we can get close to the end of our time together. Do you have anything fun coming up on your channel that you'd like to talk about or share with the viewers?
The only thing coming up is I have a couple bag tutorials, if that's something that you're interested in. I think a lot of quilters don't realize that you don't need special quilted patterns. You can use any bag pattern and just use your quilted materials. So if you want to ever dabble in bag making, I have a whole bunch of tutorials coming up, and I walk you through everything with timestamps and whatnot. So
I need to try that one day. Seriously, like all kidding aside, like I'd like to try it, like maybe a quilted bag or something like that, because that is one of the sections in the state fair that I've never entered in, but would like to. So
yeah, it's
yeah.
not as intimidating as it looks. I think the trickiest part is like once you're comfortable with the zipper, you're good to go.
And see, yeah, I don't like zippers that much, but I'm comfortable with it. So, yeah,
Should
I
be
think
good.
I think Amber and I will have to set up a live together, and she can teach a newbie how to do
Yeah.
it. Maybe they'll give some of you guys some confidence that if I can do it as a newbie, then you can too. So that would be a lot of fun. So, for me, I will have my podcast tomorrow morning as usual at 9 a.m. Eastern. And then we'll put out the time lapse for this clue early next week, and then we may do some other stuff, but that's kind of where I'm at the moment, and we'll go from there. So let's see, I just make sure I don't miss anything else. Margie says we need to put quilt shops in the duty-free stores in the airport. That'd be a lot of fun. I can be about that life.
Yeah.
Usually it's like chocolates, alcohol, cigarettes, that sort of stuff there as well. Kathleen says I think you'd enjoy it in regards to the bag making. They are easy, faster pops of fun. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna. We'll have to set this up and do this at some point in the near future where Sean makes a bag. I've done drawstring bags, but not a whole lot. I've maybe one or two other bags, but nothing like crossbody purses or anything else like that. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, and Melanie says don't forget to hit the thumbs up. That would help immensely. Andrea says, have I finished the quilts for the girls? I'm still working on that, but I am making good progress. You'll get to see my update on that in the morning. I do have to run out to the fabric store and get more fabric for one of the quilts because I cut those squares at 7.5 inches instead of 8.5, and I didn't buy extra. Well, it
now
is
you
what
have
it
for
is.
another project.
Oh yeah, we'll use it for something else. I mean, it's just I cut one strip. So it wasn't a huge amount of fabric, but I did not have enough to finish it off. So I'll run to the quilt shop next week after work one day and grab some more. So there we go. Oh yes, thank you so much for reminding me, Donnell. She says for anyone that wants a double dose of me, I'll be over at her channel at 10 o'clock. So I'm going to go grab some coffee in just a few moments and get ready for round 2. And actually, I'm going to bring that one of the girls' quilts along and sew that on the next live over at Donnell. So if you haven't seen, if you don't know Donnell's channel, I'm going to throw it in here real quick. Come over and join us in about 35 minutes, and we'll have even more fun. But I'm going to let her do some more talking because I think I'm about out of words. So there you go. All right, so thank you all so much for joining us today. If you're watching the replay, please say hi in the comments and let us know that you're watching. It's always fun to find out who's interacting with us in the replay. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Amber. If you haven't checked out her channel, it is Amber. I'll throw your channel link in again for you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, she'll have a lot of fun. And then, yeah, check out her tutorials for the bag making and see all her goodness over the next 9 months for the remaining clues. Josie's who is such a beautiful colorway. I'm excited to see how it all comes together.
Me too.
All right. Linda, good morning. She says, I'm late, but I slept in. Coffee. I'm off to go get some more coffee now. All right.
Me too.
Hope you all have a great day. Happy sewing, and we'll see you next time at 10 o'clock over on Donnell's. Okay, bye.